Norman Strike, a remarkably apt name for a former miner, volunteered to teach in Kenya 2 years ago. It was there that the former hard man surprised himself and fell in love.
Outside, if you ask people about me, I'm this big, gruff, ex-coal mining Geordie. Some people even think I'm really hard because I've got the missing front tooth and I'm a bit rough looking. But underneath it all, I'm soft as shite, really.
Norman met Anne a year ago. They've been apart for 2 months since he came home after finishing his job. Anne plans to visit him here next week, but Norman's concerned about her travelling from Africa alone and decides to surprise her by turning up unannounced in Kenya.
Plane tickets. Oh, must remember to put my luggage labels on tomorrow. Passport. Villain of the year. If you see this man, phone Crime Watch. Not too smelly. Right, those are on for today.
After divorcing his first wife, Norman never believed he'd fall in love again. But they all say that, don't they?
Hi, that's her, Naliaka. Met her at a party and then went through a really strange kind of old-fashioned courtship. It was really nice. That's her. That's Anne. The object of my desire. This is me going to see the woman I love and bring her back to my country. That's what this is all about.
At the airport, Norman invests in the international currency of love.
I have to get some perfume before I go as a present. Exfoliants Doucier, what the hell is that? Taking hair off your legs, I think. £24. About 2,500 bob, enough to feed a family of 6 for a week. More than a week. She's worth it. Just to see her face when I get there. My mates at the pit could see me paying £25 for perfume.
Norman is willing to face adversity in the name of love.
God, I hate flying. I hate it. It terrifies me. But it'll be worth it because I'll see Anne tomorrow, and that's what it's all about. The things we do for love.
And after 8 long and turbulent hours, he's finally in the same continent as the woman who's stolen his northern heart.
Thank God that's over with. Turbulence or what? But the heat's wonderful. We're down, I'm safe, I've landed, and it's about an hour, hour and a half, taxi, and then Wafula's going to get the shock of her life. Yeah. The Chacos? Huh?
Just come here.
I want to find out how much it costs before I get in his taxi. That's too much. 3.5. No, that's too much. No, I'm not. I'm going to take the cheapest man.
How much are you willing to pay? How much are you willing?
2.5.
That's good. 2.5, yes, me.
But nervous expectations taken its toll on Norman's memory.
I've left my passport and tickets, and I just hope they haven't been stolen. Typical. How could I be so stupid? Somebody's got the passport.
A taxi driver found the missing documents. He was good enough to return them to Norman, or clever enough to spot an opportunity, depending on your view of human nature.
Thank you, Santisana Buana. That's for all of your trouble for driving out here. You know what they say, don't you? The course of true love never runs smooth. My mum used to say that.
With his wallet lighter and his heart pounding, Norm builds up to the big surprise.
I can't wait to see her face because she's not expecting it at all. Hello, Miss Wafula.
Oh. Hello.
What do you mean, hello? Is that the best you can do?
Hello.
Were you expecting me?
No.
Well, why are you not more surprised? Are you embarrassed? Hello, nurse. Jumbo.
Oh, my goodness. Oh.
And I thought you were going to come running up the path and see how they're going to be sitting there waiting. Are you embarrassed?
I'm surprised.
Why are you surprised? I left my shorts here, didn't I? I've come back for them. I've had no shorts to wear, I've had to wear these.
Although there are huge cultural differences, Norman and Anne have a love of children in common. Anne is involved with the school for disabled children. She had polio at the age of 2 and is passionate about people not being held back by their disabilities.
It's not easy being disabled in Kenya. We are stigmatized. People look at us differently. Some people would look at us as outcasts, like people who are useless. I'm coming to encourage them. Something like a role model for them to look at me and say, if she made it, then we can also make it. Today we shall not talk. We shall not have our regular talks. Today I've come to say bye-bye to you. I'm going to England. You want to know what I'm going to do? Yes. I'm going to visit my boyfriend. Why did you laugh? We met at a party, and then I did not fall in love immediately, but he saw me that time. So he started writing to me, and we would meet, go out for a meal, communicate with letters before we fell in love now.
How old are you?
I'm 29. Yeah. Norman is 49.
People look at you and say, gosh, look at that old man going out with that beautiful young woman. And I kind of get a bit self-conscious about that sometimes. But at the end of the day, when I'm with Anne, you know, she reassures me all I need, that age isn't an issue.
I'm comfortable with Norman because he's a mature person. He knows exactly what he wants in life. And I know he's not just playing games with me. You know, he wants a serious relationship. Yes. Tell me, have a good flight.
Have a good flight.
Bye-bye.
One potential problem for Anne and Norman is their differing beliefs. Anne's a born-again Christian, Norman is certainly not. While she's at a farewell service in her local church, agnostic Norman prefers the religion of Andy Capp, with a pint in the local boozer.
She's teetotal. Odd couple, aren't we? There's me trying to pack in smoking, drink like a fish, and there's Anne, never smoked, never drank, and yes, we can go out to a pub together and have a great time in each other's company. I think that's brilliant.
Anne's family is hosting a farewell party for her, so she's off into town to get her hair done.
The first time Norman told me that he loved me, I thought, no, I think he's drunk. And then I told him, tell me this when you are sober. And then he told me, Anne, I'm not drunk. I'm telling you, this is what I feel. And then he fell in love with me before I fell in love with him. And like he didn't rush me. He did not rush me at all. And when I started falling in love with me, I thought, oh, am I doing the right thing? And like I put it to test so many times. I think I tried it so many times, like, is it real? Yeah, I fell in love. Mm-hmm.
For Anne's farewell meal, Norman, who has been a vegetarian for 10 years, has been sent to buy a goat, the African way.
Okay.
Do you think it's okay? You're the goat expert.
It's okay, it's okay.
Right, I don't want to look in its eyes. I don't want to see in its eyes. Okay then. Hiya, I don't want to look. I don't even want to look.
When you are born on this earth, there are some things that are written that have to take place in your life. So I think it was meant that Norman and I be together.
Farewell, goat.
Don't do that.
I can't help it.
No, you're not.
Look,
it's wrong.
Anne,
in our tradition,
Anne,
you don't do that to an animal.
One of the things that me and you have to sort out between each other in our relationship is you're an African and I'm an Englishman, and in your culture you keep saying, in our culture we don't do that. And I have to, in our culture, We don't buy goats and shove them into boots of cars, slit their throats and cook them in our culture. So we're trying to find a balance between our two cultures, right? I can't help but being upset genuinely about the goat.
At the party, Norman finds some traditions too much to bear.
You're worrying, Norman.
It's the first time Anne's left Kenya, and she's only got Norman's word about what she'll face in Britain.
Can't believe what?
It's all right. I thought I'd lost my ticket again. Put it in here. I'm not going through that again.
When he arrived, I thought I was dreaming, but now I'm not dreaming. It's happening.
At Heathrow Airport, Anne has to pass through immigration alone, a daunting prospect for an African woman on her own. Norman is worried in case she hasn't made it.
I am starting to panic. I can't go out there, because they won't have gone out there, they'll still be here. What a bloody relief!
You're like, oh.
Did you get through okay?
A few surprises await Anne.
Could be the sun will come out at about 10, yeah?
Yeah, 10 on the 10th of July.
No, there must be some sun, seriously.
Some cold weather.
No, there's a pothole on your road. You told me there are no potholes. There's a small one there.
When they've reached Norman's home turf, a final surprise awaits her.
Listen, do you know how we always said we'd get married, but we'd wait until we got back to Kenya? I don't want to wait.
Why?
Because I want to marry you now. Not this instant, but I want to marry you as soon as we can fix it up. Why wait? So will you marry me?
Oh, no.
Is that a yes or a no?
Yes, I'll marry you.
Let's get back to the car before we freeze to death. I'm not romantic.
Marcela gave up a great job and husband in the Czech Republic to be with her unlikely lover, disabled actor Nabil.
I've come across it so many times, but people assume that I can't fuck. I get people coming up to me wondering if I've got a penis and do I know how to use it.
That's true.
What? Oh,
That they wonder, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even...
I'm surprised that they may ask questions like this, but it really happens.
Yeah.
I would say people most often think that I'm a kind of carer. I'm just someone pushing the chair and not really having anything with Nabil. So they usually either communicate with me because they think I'm the one responsible for him, or they communicate with him and just completely ignore me. So they rarely, people in the street or random people rarely take us as a couple.
But they're equally surprised when they see me driving.
But Nabil has no problem with his drive, car or otherwise.
I think we've got a great sex life. Well, luckily I didn't have any kind of prejudice regarding sexual life of disabled people. I had quite normal approach like to any other man, so I don't perceive Nabil as disabled or whatever because I know what he is able to do. I got used to him being in a wheelchair and small, and I can't say it has got any kind of impact. I can't see anything strange about him. He just appears completely normal to me.
The whirlwind romance began over the internet, and after 17 months of emails, the couple rendezvoused in Prague. 10 months later, and after only 2 meetings, Marcela and Nabil were living together in the UK.
The thought that Marcela has had to give up so much to be with me, a great job, well-paid job, she gave up her husband. So I obviously feel a great responsibility for Marcela having to completely change her life just for me. Really gone down in the world coming over here.
Oh yeah, definitely, because I've got no job here. And I thought
money.
it must be easy for me to find something here, and actually it isn't. So that was quite surprising and not very pleasant experience. It has been difficult, so I finally went down thinking, okay, so I just take anything.
And after a year of looking for work, Marcela's luck may be on the up.
Oh, very nervous for her. Yeah.
Are you?
Of course.
No, you shouldn't.
Why not? I want you to get the job.
So, there we are. I'm getting really nervous. Whoa.
It'll be alright. You'll wow them.
Alright, I go.
Nope.
First finger.
Nope. Not going.
I'm not going.
No.
Come on, I'll be late.
I'm nervous for her, yes. I'm also concerned that she doesn't experience too many rejections and become too despondent and believing that because she's from the Czech Republic, she hasn't got a hope of getting any work over here. I find it quite astonishing, really, that she gave up everything. This was only the second meeting that we'd had, and she said, I think I will come and live with you in May next year. I said, oh, really? Yes. Marcela was the first woman that I'd ever lived with. If Marcela decided that it was just impossible and she's not going to be able to get work in Britain, and she feels that she would be better off going back to the Czech Republic, and I've told her this, I'll go with her, because it's only fair that she tried it, she attempted to live here, and if it becomes impossible for her, then I'll go to wherever she chooses to go.
And if Marcela doesn't get this job, they may have to.
That's it.
How was it?
They will let me know by the end of the week. How was it? It was alright.
What about the fact that you're Czech?
Oh, they've got a project in Czech Republic. They worked on something.
Did they think that you'd be really useful because of your obvious Czech background?
Well, maybe.
Well done.
Things look promising, but Nabil and Marcela have worked well together since their first meeting almost 2 years ago in Prague.
So we met at the Prague airport, took a taxi, got to the hotel, and finally Nabil says, may I kiss you?
And what blew my mind was when I started to kiss you passionately, you kissed me back passionately.
Probably.
And then you started to tell me you loved me.
And you told me?
Yeah, and then you told me you wanted to have a child for me.
Well, you first asked me to spend a night with you, didn't you?
Yeah. I said, is there any chance that we might be able to sleep together at some point in this week? And you said...
Well, I probably agreed.
You said yes.
I did agree,
yes.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, oh, when? And Marcela decided tonight. There was no self-consciousness about Marcela and the way she was feeling towards me. So, for example, we're going around on a horse and carriage through Prague, going through the romantic old city. I couldn't see quite properly over the edge, and it seemed an obvious thing to do was for me to sit on Marcela's lap. And, you know, the looks and stares that we got from people walking up and down the street as we went by, and we waved to them like we were king and queen of Prague. It would have looked pretty bizarre to them, I think. And if we'd been snogging, then they would have like really kind of, we probably would have been deported or something.
But even to Nabil's friends, the relationship can seem a little bizarre.
Well, prior to meeting Marcela, the first thing you said was, I really want to fall in love. More than anything, I want to fall in love. And then he told me about this story, and didn't believe him. I mean, yeah, very far-fetched, but she's here.
It seemed like
she's
an
amazing.
unlikely tale.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the first. There's an awful load of unlikely tales that come out of his career.
Yeah. So
Spend a lot
it's
of time
lovely.
wondering what's going on.
I felt like it must have been really difficult for you. I mean, to come here, leave your what you know behind, you know, come to a new country, you know, a new relationship. But she's lovely, isn't she?
But lovely Marcella's future in the UK is yet to be decided. Marcela gave up everything to be with Nabil, but it seems if you have love, nothing's a sacrifice.
I don't regret coming here. Well, basically, I don't regret meeting Nabil and being with Nabil. I don't care where it is, if it is here or wherever. So now I'm trying my chances here. And maybe if I don't succeed and really feel desperate, we can move somewhere else and try.
After a year of trying to find a job in the UK, Marcella's luck may be changing.
Oh, yes, I see. That would be very nice of you if you could keep me on your files. Yes, thank you. Well, it is frustrating not get a job. Oh, I would be grateful, but somehow I expected it. Thank you, bye-bye. Well, I will see. We still are trying. If the situation is really bad, then we still can try this opportunity to go back and check, and I'm pretty sure I would find something in Czech, so that shouldn't be that big problem. So I will still try a bit longer, not to give up just after a year. What would I like to see in my future? Certainly kids, because I'm 38, so it's high time to start kids, I think. So I would say that's probably my priority. And of course we need some money to live, so we need to earn some money, so getting a job. Yeah, but I enjoy living with Nabil, it's nice.
"46-year-old Elsa suffers from chronic arthritis. While she lives alone in Sheffield, her unlikely lover is 4,000 miles away in an American prison.
I found Jesse on the writerprisoner.com. I've been writing to him for about 2 years now. He's in prison for armed bank robbery. No one got hurt, but he got a very long sentence. His latest release date is the year 2029. Which is one heck of a long time.
Despite the odds being stacked against them, Elsa is determined to be with a man, even though they've never met.
If he has to stay in jail for his full sentence, he's going to be 60, I'll be 70. We might not even be alive, but if we are, we will be together. There's no doubt about that in my mind, because I will marry him.
Elsa is hoping to get up close and personal with Jesse later this year. But until then, the couple continue to do things the old-fashioned way, corresponding mainly by love letter.
He says he misses his sunshine and his possible wife-to-be. He's looking forward to me visiting him, which I'm hoping will be about October time. The best thing about Jesse, I think, is the fact that he loves me. For me, he's perfect, and I'm happy with that. And I wouldn't change anything about him for any reason whatsoever. Jesse is different from any other partner that I've been with. He'd never cheat on me. He's not like that. Whereas other partners have beaten me up, they've cheated on me, and they've done all sorts of tricks, but I know Jesse couldn't be like that, so he's different. He's different to anybody I've been out with before. I only use one hand.
But Jesse isn't the only prisoner that Elsa writes to. For over 10 years, she has corresponded with prisoners across North America.
Now, Jesse knows I write to other people. I shouldn't laugh, but I can't help it. He knows that I write to other people. He doesn't know how many, because he would have a problem with that. But at the moment I'm writing to about 140, maybe a few more. Some are on death row, and whether they're in prison or on the outside. We all deserve friendship and caring.
But while 140 prisoners receive Elsa's friendship and caring, only one has her heart.
Yeah, I write to Jesse every week. He's my baby. I love him.
Until Jessie and Elsa meet face to face for the first time later this year, there's only one thing that beats the love letter. Once a month, Elsa is able to speak to Jessie on the phone, and tonight is one of those special nights.
Jessie, come on. Come on. Just before Jessie phones, I get nervous and I sit and I look at the clock and I keep thinking to myself, come on Jessie, phone. Phone, ring. And I just get excited. And then when the phone rings, I just want to grab it quick. Hello?
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 Hey,
Hey, baby.
how are you?
I'm great now you're on the phone.
That's good.
Yeah. I'm coming to see you about October, you know. Earlier than what I'd originally planned.
Gee, that's even better.
You know, if we got married while you were in the prison,
Yes.
wouldn't you have to get permission off them?
Yes. Might be able to do it in coming October.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking about.
We better get a honeymoon.
Oh, it would, wouldn't it? Yeah. And I don't suppose they'll allow that, will they?
It's too much like right.
Yeah. By the way, the other thing I was going to have you heard anything about what happened in court yet?
Actually, yeah. Our nan will be out in 2012.
It'll be 2012. Well, it's a lot better than it was.
You got that right.
I mean, what was it before? 2029? I bet you're happy.
Yes.
Yes. And me? Oh, baby, I'm happy. I am. No doubt about it. And then I can show you how much I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's gone. Cut me off. Now I've lost my shoe. They might have his body locked up, but they haven't got his mind and spirit. That's free. And that's with me. Yeah, it is very hard, but it's worth waiting for, and it's worth persevering for. And that's what I'm going to do.
20-year-old Charlie lives with her fiancé Rich, who's 16 years older and 17 inches shorter.
Rich was 3'8". He's an incredibly independent guy. When I look at him, I don't see a small person, I just see this really great guy.
Charlie first met Rich 2 years ago during a pool competition at this very pub. But it wasn't a case of eyes meeting across a crowded room. Rather, Rich's eyes checking out Charlie's backside.
When we were playing pool, the first sight I got of Charlie was a bent over at the pool table, so I got a really good view of her backside over the outside. It was quite a nice sight, and it still is, I must admit.
Oh, that's good to know.
I was just consciously clocking her, because I've seen her play pool. I thought she's not only a good pool player, but she's quite hot as well. Shot.
Rich plucked up the courage to ask Charlie out on a date, and the following week the two headed to a nightclub where, once seated, their eyes finally met.
We'd gone outside just for a breath of fresh air because it was quite hot in there, and I was sat outside, actually, was on like a little step, just sat there, and our sort of eyes met, and you get that little bit of chemistry going, and you think like, shall I? And we just sort of leaned in together and had our first kiss, and it was really nice. And since then, we've been together literally ever since then. I think we've only spent maybe 1 or 2 nights apart in that whole 2 years since.
Charlie moved in with Rich just 6 months later, and on Valentine's Day this year, Rich proposed the old-fashioned way.
I was delighted because Rich phoned me and asked me before he asked Charlotte. He asked my mum if it was okay, didn't he? Didn't ask me to marry him.
Couldn't cope with both of us.
Rich and Charlie are looking forward to celebrating their engagement later tonight and showing the world just how much they're in love.
I'm really looking forward to, actually, because it'll be a chance for us to express how me and Charlie feel for each other in front of everybody else, and a celebration of our love.
Got a great sense of humour. He thinks it's really funny the fact that when we stand in front of each other, he only reaches up to my breasts. So when he looks up, he gets an eyeful.
One of your nicknames for me is Peter Pan, isn't that?
The boy who never grew up, quite literally.
The two recently got engaged and are probably the most loved-up couple in Britain.
Rich is just a really genuine, honest person. His smile just takes the breath away. I know it's cliche, but he's a really good-looking guy, and to top it all off, I know that he loves me so much.
She just loves me for who I am. You know, it's so hard to find that kind of thing. And I love the way she looks. She's a really attractive young woman. You know, she's such a fit person. And I still get the butterflies. But, you know, when she walks through the door, that initial, you know, that's my Charlie, I still have that feeling, you know, 2 years down the line.
And as we know, kissing leads on to other things, doesn't it?
At the end of the day, there's no difference between us having sex or anybody else, really, you know. So just so we can get into more interesting positions.
People can be quite prejudiced when it comes to differences. I mean, I'd never had a problem with Rich's size. Unfortunately, you know, we have been accepted as a couple by the majority.
Rich and Charlotte together just seem to suit each other so well from the word go, and from the word go they've been inseparable, and I love them both to bits.
Rich and Charlie are looking forward to getting married in a few months' time. But first, they have an engagement party to attend to.
Yeah, I'm really excited, actually. It's a nice opportunity to get everybody together, and everybody's really happy for us, so it's just nice that they all appreciate me and Rich as a couple and that they want to come to our party.
Yeah, it'd be nice to, because it will be the first time a lot of people have been together, won't it?
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to it, actually, and having a couple of beers and
yeah,
having some fun. I'm really looking forward to it, actually, because it'll be a chance for us to express how me and Charlie feel for each other in front of everybody else, and a celebration of our love. Yeah, I have to tell you about how I proposed to Charlie. It was on the weekend of Valentine's Day this year, and we'd been together, living together for just over, well, about a year exactly, actually. And you know, I knew at that stage that Charlie was absolutely the right person for me. We got on so well that I thought, Valentine's Day, you've got to do it. So I took her back to a restaurant in Bridlington, which is a coastal town just up the road.
Really, in my mind, to sort of celebrate Valentine's Day, and that we'd been together for sort of 18 months and been living together for a year.
I was like really getting anxious, and my heart was going, and I'm like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And I got down on my good knee in the middle of the restaurant.
To be honest, I was so caught up in the moment. Remembering his exact words are sort of difficult at the moment.
And I said, Charlie, I just want to spend the rest of my life with you. Will you marry me? And she burst into tears, and I thought, oh God, have I said the right thing? And there were, like, obviously tears of joy. And that was it, really. And all the waitresses were like, yeah.
And as the sun goes down, Rich and Charlie's engagement party is in full swing. Among the guests are Rich's parents and Charlie's future in-laws, Bill and Daphne.
I just thought she was a sweet young girl. They're very strong together, aren't they? Yeah, she really supports him. She really does.
We laugh, cuddling up. We're really in love.
He's got a fantastic smile. Unfortunately, I get to see it quite a lot because we've got similar senses of humour. And then his eyes, just, I don't know, there's just something about his eyes that when I look into them, it's just, you could get lost in there, really.
Oh. Oh.
And he's just the complete package, and I just feel really loved when I'm with him.
A bit of quiet, please.
Oh, that works.
I'd just like to thank you all for coming. You know, I appreciate you all coming down and for the engagement party, and it's a really nice opportunity for Charlie and myself to sort of express our love for each other, and for you all to sort of get to know us a little bit more as a couple. And I just hope that we have a fantastic life together, which I'm sure we will. And I just want you to know that I love you so much.
Oh, you too.